Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalia and today I'm going to be doing a video on the Mio Slice. And if you don't know what a Mio Slice is, I'm about to fill you in on obviously what it is and what it does and why I enjoyed using this product for a couple weeks and just, working on my fitness in different ways. So yeah, before we get started, you can just remember that I have an Instagram and you can go check out my Instagram and it's at Vibrantly Delicious. There you'll see pictures of food, fitness, and other inspiring things. Well, I hope they're inspiring to you, and yeah, so feel free to check that out. And also, you can give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you want, but if you don't have to, if you don't want to. Just remember, we're here, we're posting videos, and you can come check us out anytime you want. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so this is the Mio Slice. I have it in like a burnt orange color. It's really easy, you just clip it off and take it off. You can see it has a heart rate monitor right there, a nice full screen, and then the clicking button that will take you through all of the things that you can look at with that. So yeah, it's water resistant, which is great for sweat obviously, because if you're sweating up a storm in the gym, you want your fitness band to be able to withstand the sweat. So don't worry about the little heart rate reader on the inside, it's going to be okay. So this is basically what it looks like. It comes in many colors. The Mio Slice is the first fitness activity tracker that features Personal Activity Intelligence, PAI, or PI for short. So if you hear me refer to it, I'm still talking about this guy. PAI is scientifically validated, and obviously I'm not going to be wearing something that doesn't have science back to it. I'm not going to waste my time on something like that, so that's really good to know. I'll fill you more in on the science and the research that was done on this band a little later, but basically it's based on your heart rate and it will inform you on how to live a longer and healthier life. The goal is basically to maintain a score of 100 PAI or higher, and it's actually not that hard to do. Instead of just doing steps like other fitness trackers like the Fitbit and other things, this is based on your heart rate. So for the Fitbit, I know that you need to be moving your arms because that's the motion that's going to get your steps. This does also take your steps, but it's going to be doing other things like when you're on the bike and you're not using your arms, when you're just doing, weights. My heart rate goes up, obviously it should go up when you're lifting weights, so it's going to be tracking that. And then you'll see the band will display a meter and it'll have you from what your PAI that you're at now to the next one, and it'll kind of show you your progress towards it, and it'll keep track of your total PAIs along the whole week. So PAI is based on a Hunt study which used 45,000 participants in the past 25 years, and it just looked at to see that 100 PAI was what you needed to live a longer and healthier life, which means combating diseases like cardiovascular disease, metabolic disease, respiratory diseases. So I think that's really important that it's backed by scientific studies. And it just showed that the heart rate is equivalent to living longer, just making sure that you're keeping your activity up, and that way you're obviously not being sedentary, which is something that is a huge epidemic in America lately. So if you're keeping active and you're doing things like fitness classes and biking and things that don't really require too much arm movements and it doesn't require a step count, you can still be gaining physical advantages in cardiovascular and respiratory things. So obviously 100 PAIs are the goal, but if you only get to 50, then you're still getting some sort of benefit than you were when you weren't getting any PAIs. So this way you can just keep track, and you can kind of keep track in your head what your highest PAI was, and then you can the next week try to beat it. And eventually maybe you'll get to 100. It's not necessary, it's just what they recommend. It's what the study was based on. But you can still do 40 and then the next week do 45 and be really proud of yourself that you accomplished doing 5 more PAIs. And it's hard. You got to work out to do this. You can't just sit around. Your heart rate's not going to be raising that way. So it's an accomplishment, and if it's causing you to get out of a chair, to go exercise, to do something else, then I think that's really cool. PAI is based on your age, gender, your weight, your height, and it's going to take your minimum heart rate and your max heart rate. If you don't know your max heart rate, it's just 220 minus your age, and then your minimum, I don't really know how to calculate that, but you can always estimate, and then also I'm pretty sure the tracker will just adjust as it gets used to your heart rate. Like when you're sleeping, I know mine can go down to like 40 something. So obviously when I'm walking around it's not going to be 40, but I really like the PAI because it's personal and it's just for you, it's individual, and I really like that about it. So I really like they're saying not all steps are created equal. And that means basically instead of doing all of the steps, and yeah, you can get your 10,000 steps in the day, but what 10,000 of those were actually at a higher heart rate. So this is using your heart rate to calculate a PAI. And it's a rolling 7-day window. So one day if you do have an off day, you don't have to work as hard on that day, but other days when you're doing a more maximal workout, it's going to take your PAI to a higher level. So you can always keep that in mind, that rest days are important. You don't have to reach 100, but you will still be working out harder on some days to help bring your PAI up. So you can hook it up to the Bluetooth, which I don't recommend keeping it on Bluetooth all the time. You can get text notifications, but I noticed that the battery drained a lot faster. So I tended to turn it off a little bit and then return the Bluetooth on when I wanted to sync it to the app. It's 24/7, so obviously your heart rate is going to be tracked 24/7, even when you're sleeping. I also like that it tracks sleeping. The Fitbit also does that. This will tell you when you're in your deep sleep, when you're in a light sleep, how long you slept, when you're awake, when you were being stirred, things like that. It's water resistant up to 100 feet or 30 meters, depending on your metric system. So now I'm just going to be looking at the website just so I can give you the approximate price and where you can buy it without giving you incorrect information. The suggested retail price is $129.95. So basically $130 for this. It's available at mioglobal.com and you'll get free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee, which is pretty cool because if you don't like it, why should you have to keep it and spend the money on it? You can also find it at Brookstone, REI, which I really like that company, Amazon, of course, and other specialty realtors across the USA. If you want to go check them out and you don't want to hear about my little review, you can go to their Facebook at Mio Global, their Instagram at Mio Global, and their Twitter at Mio Global. I'll also leave all the links below so that you can check it out, and you can go onto mioglobal.com, or if you want to look specifically at the slice, you can go to mioglobal.com/slice. So yeah, that's basically the review, and I really enjoyed using this. Like when I was on the elliptical, I found myself wanting to work harder so that I could earn more pie. And I'm actually going to give this to my mom because I feel like it would be great for her to just, I don't know, have some inspiration on her wrist, and she can work out and stuff, get in shape, and I really think she'll enjoy it, and her favorite color is basically this burnt orange, so I think she's going to enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I might steal it from her a couple times, but yeah, alrighty. Well, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.